Hi, my name is Stewart and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to look at two new features that are in Lightroom. One is called Colorize and the other one is called Deep Blur. So first off, we're going to go to Filter, Neural Filter, and here you have Colorize. Colorize was introduced about this time, sometime last year. It was in beta, as it is still in now, but it really didn't work very well. But with the new Photoshop upgrade, hopefully that this will be a lot better. So also you have to remember, if you're going to do a black and white photograph, make sure, oops, better come out of this, make sure that your image is RGB and not grayscale, because if it's grayscale, it's not going to work. It has to be RGB because it's going to turn your old black and white photograph into a coloured photograph. Right, got that little bit of housekeeping out of the way. So here we are, we go into Neural Filters, and here we have Colorize. As you can see, it's still in beta form. You just click that, and you see done it fairly quickly. All the features, whenever you use any of these new features, they all go up into the cloud. Sensei does its work and then it sends it back down again. It is not local to your hard drive or anything like that, or to your PC or Mac. So it's done a fairly good job. You know, the hair looks good, nice colouring, trousers. And you got the stonework here, but here you have the option to change the colours. You got cyan, you got blue, you got magenta, you got focus colour, saturation, reduce colour artifacts, got noise reducing, you got colour image, retain original image colour. And then you got profiles here. You got, let's try one of these profiles. Let's try high contrast. As you see, it's swirling. Oh no, that's not good. Alright, Command Z and go back. Let's try another one and see what it looks like. How about retro brown? You lose the skin tone. Again, no. Command Z again. We'll just have it on none. Like I said, if you want to change any of these colours, you can. Also, you can click to edit focus point. So if you want to focus on a particular, like a rock or a dress, you just highlight that, and then you can pick a colour and everything. I tried it out earlier. I did not like it. If someone can come up with a good way of using this, please let me know in the comments. Okay, so down here we've got the output. Oh, one other thing, we can also do this preview it, so you can see what we've been playing with. Like I said, we've got the output, so we can either go duplicate layer with mask. If you wanted to bring something back or take something out, I would have it on the duplicate layer mask. We got new layer, or we can have smart filter. We go have on smart filter. As you say, we can double click on it, and we can go back and still play around with the colors, colors. Okay. That's the colorizer. So I thought I'd experiment with the colorizer this last day. And I thought I'll take an original color image and then turn it into black and white and see how close this colorizer gets to the original. Because with the black and white ones we don't really see, what is really the right color and everything. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to duplicate this image, call it black and white, bring that down underneath the original image, turn that off, go up to image and go up to adjustments and change it to black and white. So that doesn't look too bad. I don't think we need to change much on it here. Keep it as normal as we can to get to see what happens. Alright, so then we got to filter, Neural filter, and hit colorize. That's not too bad. Again, for some reason, whenever the filter sees something that is black and white, it always wants to turn it purple. Sorry, whenever it sees something that is black, it wants to turn it purple. But as you see, did the shoes red, her nails were kind of like red, lipstick, her hair is kind of like a browny colour, the flower is not quite red. Again, you can go in here and experiment, see if that makes a lot of difference. I did notice that there is some colour casting coming along here. It made it look, it hasn't really changed, the skin tone isn't quite right. It's got this purpley colour. But otherwise, the rest of the skin and the shadows and everything looks just right. Just around this area here. Okay. If we changed it to a bit more yellow, change the skin tone, and setting focal point, you can change that here. Like I said, I don't like experimenting with that at the moment. I'm not comfortable with it. And so you got saturation. Bring that up a bit if you want. Too much of a suntan. Bring it down. That's it. We have these color profiles. You can do retro red. Ooh, definitely been under the sun too long. Underneath the sunbed. Let's change that. Retro fade. Not too bad. Oh, it's made the skirt blue, deepened the shoes, the red. I guess we can work from there and bring it down a little bit on the skin tone. That's not too bad. And again, like I said, we can save this as a smart filter. So if we ever want to go back to it, we can. And this is the original. And this is the AI, a Sensei colorizing. Like I said, it's done a really good job. Original, colorize. Alright, next we have this photograph that I took when I used to live in Seattle, down by the waterfront. We're going to use the depth blur on this one. Again, go to filter, neural filters, and here we have the depth blur. Press on that, and Sensei's doing its work. Phone everything up to the cloud and back again. It was a cold day. And see how, as you see, it's blurred all the background. What I want to do, I want to put these two guys in focus, then everything at the front and at the rear in the background blurred. Okay, so if we hit this, if you click to edit focal point, so if you click on your focal point here, let's see, hopefully this will make all this foreground blurred and then the background blurred as well. Keeping this, there you go, keeping this area here in focus. You can decrease the strength or increase the strength of the blur. You've got to bring it down a little bit. I do not like this area here. Wish it was like straight across. So yeah, this had all this whole area blurred. But that's where you have like the tilt shift filter you can play around with and have certain sections in blur, out of focus and in focus. You got the focal length here, and bring that down. But it's a good starting point, this is, because you could always go back into Photoshop again and then go into the blur or other filters and get rid of this bit here. So you had the whole this whole section would be blur. Let's try and get this down a bit. Focal range. That's one thing that like sending it up to the cloud and back down again. It does take its time. I guess I could just bring this down a little bit more. I kind of like how it is, except for this bit here. I'm just being too fussy, I guess. Again, I guess that's better. Bring it just down a little bit more. Bring up the focal length. You can do haze, you can do warmth, brightness, saturation. You even got output depth map. That's what that looks like. So you can find out what's actually going on. Wait for this to do its job. There you go, come on. There you go. Right. Increase the blur. There'll be some cutting, I think. Oh, there's to shorten down the video. Okay. Focal length. Focal range, I should say. Okay. It's still whirring. There we go. I guess I really need to put this up a little bit. They're starting to look like toy soldiers. Or toys. No? Okay. Let's bring this up a bit here then. Like I said, this is all in beta. I hope that Adobe comes out with more functions like this. I guess quite a lot of photographers will use this depth blur. So I just need it up a little bit more, I think. There you go. A little bit finicky here, sorry. If you're going to do something right, you better, take your time over it and get it right the first time. Focal range up a bit. Okay. Alrighty. That'll do. Let's give it a little bit of warmth. Let's make it a little bit more like a winter's day. So you can change the colours, make it a little bit more colder, you can make it a little bit more warmer, your image. I make mine a little bit more colder, as it is a nice cold day as I remember. You got brightness, and bring up the brightness a bit. Now that I have it, it's a nice winter's day. Or we can have it as a nice autumn day. The golden sun, as the sun is just shining through the clouds, it's dipping below the water. You get that nice glow. From an autumn day, or even from a spring day, but I think this was more like January, February time, if I remember rightly. A little bit cold, sunny but cold. There you go. Alright, again, going to save it as a smart object. So we have three examples here. We have the black and white image that was turned into colour using Colorizer. Experimented with a coloured photograph, turn it into a black and white photograph, and then colorizing it. See how close that Sensei got to the original, and as you can see, got fairly close. Good skin tone, got the shoes nice and red, gave it a blue dress instead of black, but the top, I would say, is pretty accurate. The only thing that it didn't get right, I don't think, was the flower. It kind of gave it a muddy colour, as well as the hair. But if I went in and changed it a lot more, because I could get fairly close to her hair colour. And then, to wrap it up, we did the depth blur. And you see, it's made a fairly good job of it. The only thing I didn't like is this bit. It should have gone straight across instead of just that. It kind of spoils it for me, but otherwise it did a fairly good job. If you like these videos, please hit the subscribe button and the bell, and you'll get notified when the next one comes up. Also, if you feel like if there's something that you'd like me to discuss or show, please leave a comment down below. Again, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it very much. It all helps with the algorithms. So I'll sign off now and say goodbye.